Chapter 22, the Emmett Plot to Kill the Governor of California. There is evidence that by the mid-1990s, Mexican Mafia members had plotted to kill the Governor of California. To date, the SHU has received several reports indicating that the Mexican Mafia prison gang, Emmett, may be involved in a plot to assassinate Governor Pete Wilson. That is an intelligence bulletin from the California Highway Patrol Special Investigations Unit, which handles security for the governor. That was issued September 7, 1995 to numerous law enforcement agencies. During 1994, Boxer Enriquez was just settling into his new routine at Pelican Bay, changing cellmates, while Republican Governor Pete Wilson was fighting to save his re-election bid by promoting Proposition 187. It was a ballot measure designed to ban undocumented immigrants from receiving public education and other social services. Many Californians, especially those of Latin descent, thought the governor's campaign was race baiting. Proposition 187 seriously angered a number of mafia members. Led by murderous, obstinate promoter of all things Mexican and evil, Daniel Guate Grajeda. Boxer didn't need a police intelligence bulletin to tell him what was going on. I don't know how realistic it was as far as implementation, but I know there was a Cuate faction in the organization that was talking about killing Pete Wilson. When I heard about it, I said, I don't want anything to do with that. You're talking about the governor. That's ridiculous. Also, Boxer also understood clearly, however, why the MA members were so upset. As unbelievable as it may sound, they felt that they had an investment in Wilson and that he had betrayed them. He did us terrible, said Boxer. We did the people terrible. He did us terrible, said Boxer. He did the people terrible. 66-year-old Rachel Ortiz is a well-known longtime Latina community activist in San Diego who claims to have recovered from drug addiction in her 20s. She was executive director of Barrio Station, a community center located in the heavily gang-infested Logan Heights area of the city. Ortiz held the job for 35 years before retiring in March 2006. Her organization for years has pulled in millions of dollars in government funds to provide counseling, recreation, and job search services for gang members and ex-convicts. Ortiz, along the way, campaigned to deliver Latino community votes to Pete Wilson, serving as a key advisor as he rose through the ranks as a city councilman, mayor, U.S. senator, and governor. She had pictures taken with him. He even presented her with a Distinguished Service Award. At the same time, CDC investigators say Ortiz was making many phone calls and redirecting letters to dozens of MA members, including Boxer Enriquez, Weddle Shai Fryrock, and Topo Peters. She had frequent communications with Mexican Mafia heavyweight and murderer Raul Weddle Sherm Leon, who was serving a 25 to life sentence at Pelican Bay. She even bought him a television set. The Prison Investigative Services Unit, during a 1996 probe into Weddle Sherm's correspondence, uncovered an organized criminal gang network wherein Leon corresponded with over 100 inmates, including Boxer, in 12 institutions through the use of outside participants who directed or redirected the letters. According to a 225-page ISU report, Leon himself identified Rachel Ortiz as one of those assisting the inmate, though she has never been charged with any wrongdoing. The investigation concluded that over 150 crimes were reported or conducted through the use of the United States Postal Service. Those crimes included attempted murder, assaults on other inmates, extortion, drug trafficking, directing gang, racial disturbances, resulting in at least one death. Let me read that over. Those crimes included attempted murder, assaults on other inmates, extortion, drug trafficking, directing gang, racial disturbances, resulting in at least one death, utilizing legal privileges to conduct criminal activity, and organizing MA-controlled gang leadership. Boxer said Weddle Sherm seeks his validation through killing people. Subsequently, Ortiz was banned from the CDC. Ortiz was banned by the CDC from every prison in the state. She asked the governor for a pardon, but investigators told Wilson she had connections to members of La M and warned him to stay away from her. Weddle Sherm was indicted in June of 2006 as the leading conspirator in a federal racketeering case in San Diego. Prosecutors accused him of approving murder in a widespread scheme to tax gang members and drug dealers throughout Southern California. The feds at first wanted to seek the death penalty, but someone in the Justice Department overruled the idea. He pleaded guilty in 2007 and agreed to a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Weddle Sherm, who has the word mafia tattooed on his large belly, told Reuters news service that his influence spreads far and wide. 3 times during a taped video interview with CDC intelligence officers in June 2006, he bragged, "I snapped my fingers and people died." The trial judge described it as a vengeful assassination. On March 19, 1981, Weddle Sherm, then a member of San Diego gang called Gamma Street, and a co-conspirator stole a car from 18-year-old George Garcia. Leon made the victim an athletic, hard-working teenager with 2 jobs and plans to enter the U.S. Air Force, kneel in the street. Then Weddle Sherm blasted him in the back of the head with a shotgun. As if that weren't enough, Leon drove the stolen 1979 silver Camaro once around the block and then ran over Garcia as he lay dying on the pavement. In 1992, headlines in the San Diego Union Tribune screamed, "Activists acknowledge boyfriend's arrest." It was an article about the apprehension of Rachel Ortiz's live-in boyfriend and his involvement in the sale of 25 pounds of methamphetamine to undercover cops and his promise to do future transactions for heroin and cocaine. And it is well known in MS circles, according to Boxer Enriquez, that Gato stole Ortiz from her previous boyfriend, Mexican Mafia member Silent George Ruiz of Logan Heights. In the wake of boyfriend Gato Martinez's arrest, Ortiz offered her resignation as one of Mayor Maureen O'Connor's nominees in the city's civil service. In the wake of boyfriend Gato Martinez's arrest, Ortiz offered her resignation as one of Mayor Maureen O'Connor's nominees in the city's Civil Service Commission. Boxer insisted that Ortiz had sent him and other MA members money. She once visited him at LA County Jail. And back when his second wife, Rosie Ruiz, was busted for smuggling drugs into the LA County Jail, it was Rachel Ortiz who came up with the money to bail her out. Topo asked her to do it, and she complied. And she doesn't know that we are Mexican Mafia. There is something wrong with her, insisted Boxer. She knows who she's dealing with. Most likely, the governor early on didn't know about her MA affiliation, but the mob did. So when Wilson backed what was perceived as an anti-Latino law in Prop 187, there was in fact serious mafia talk about his assassinating him. The California Highway Patrol Intelligence Bulletin stated, "We have heard that the money for the contract hit is coming from very important people in Mexico, the Mexican Mafia, Mexican drug cartels, and the Mexican political party PAN." The confidential document noted that from February 1994 through September 1995, there were 8 reports indicating a threat to the governor. The San Diego Police Department reported that an informant described as a wacko told them that the governor had pissed off some very powerful people and that a drug dealer offered him $1 million contract to do the hit. An anonymous caller to a Ventura TV station, possibly a Hispanic male, said, "We're going to assassinate Pete Wilson by the MA." A letter was sent to the governor from a former mental patient claiming he was kidnapped by 2 men from the Mexican Mafia because he helped police set up an MA-related drug dealer. He overheard them talking about $1 million contract to kill the governor. An LA County Human Relations Commissioner reported to the police that a friend of her son's, who spent 5 days in the county jail, overheard inmates say that the MA was going to hit Wilson. A Vacaville inmate told an ATF Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms agent that he overheard an Aryan Brotherhood member and later a Black Guerrilla family member talk about a hit on the governor. The AB brother said, "You're not going to believe this crazy shit." The informant also felt that the MA has heard it. An unknown Hispanic gang member acting as a concerned citizen approached an LAPD officer and told him the MA has or will put out a contract hit on Governor Wilson's life and the money will be coming from Mexico. An LA cab driver phoned the FBI and informed them that he had picked up a fare who talked about a plot to kill Pete Wilson. The assassin was connected to the Mexican mafia. To date, the memo stressed there is no confirmed information related to this assassination plot. However, there is enough information to warrant further investigation. Pete Wilson, now retired from active politics and working for a Los Angeles consulting firm, said that he was not aware that that was the case with the Emmett. He'd heard about the capricious scheme to kill him. He'd never heard about the capricious scheme to kill him, but never had any feelings I was not well protected. The plan never came off, but according to Boxer Enriquez, had the governor strolled into the wrong neighborhood at the right time, there would have been no need to re-elect him. He would have been dead. A final comment on the subject from Boxer Enriquez is chilling. A final comment on the subject from Boxer Enriquez is chilling. The real hidden secret was that Governor Wilson was so close to the Mexican mafia. Rachel Ortiz listens to us, Emmett, and those people who work with her listen to her. We may never be able to get next to, in a political sense, a governor or a mayor, but people we know do.